Tubeless Ready Wheel. This is my first tubeless ready wheel. Keyword ready, ready, ready. I'm using inner tubes in it. As a casual cyclist, I think there's two things you should know. For one thing, it can be a lot harder to get a tyre on than the traditional type of wheel. I guess is maybe because they're wanting the wheel to be so tight for the tubeless tyre, so they're making it even closer and higher so that the tyre, there's hardly any room to get a tyre on, in my opinion. I mean, I've struggled to get one side on, never mind both sides, so I've never had that before where I struggle to get one side of a tyre on. The other thing is, apparently these tyres, any tyre, can stick to the wheel. So this side's totally stuck to the wheel, it's fused to it, and I've never had that happen before, so this is a new thing I think it's going to happen if you buy tubeless ready tyres. There it is, totally fused. Yous must be told. I had to use cable cutters, really good quality ones. Don't know what I'll do now actually. Still stuck, you see. I don't know how common that is. I mean, I thought I'd be the only person that happened to, but then when I searched the internet, I saw videos of like hardened mountain bikers, well, someone saying that mountain bikers have a habit of cutting their tyres off because one side's stuck, you know, so it sounds as if it may be quite a common problem. So this is a problem that your tyre might stick to your wheel. This is like my second puncture in about 3 months, and usually I don't want any punctures, so usually I buy puncture proof ones. This tyre's actually got a softer sidewall, which I thought would be okay, but for the kind of cycling I'm doing, I do a bit of off-road. No, the sidewall gave way and it ripped. It ripped somewhere, and so my inner tube was hanging out, and eventually of course it just popped. So yeah, but I think having this side fused to one side caused the problem in the first place, because it made it a bit unstable on the other side. Yeah, it ripped there, so don't know if I've had that happen before, but this has got a softer sidewall than other puncture proof things, so I thought that would be alright, but obviously not. And of course eventually I was getting that wobble and I could see it was tyre sticking out. I tried to get home, but it popped, so that was me. I had to walk 6 miles. So I don't know what I'll do here. This side's fused. I'm probably going to try and cut it off, because I've tried before. This side, ironically, after my first puncture, I didn't have to take the full wheel off. I could get the inner tube back in, but it turned out to be a fool's thing, because eventually that side gave way anyway. So I just wanted to point those two things out. I mean, if you're worried about it, you can still get normal clincher tyres that aren't tubeless ready, so they've probably got more space, you know, but there must be a chance that they're going to disappear, you know, and we're going to be left with just tubeless ready ones. So anyway, the 2 points are, you might really struggle to get a tyre on even on one side, and the other thing is they might have a tendency to stick, for the tyre to stick to the wheel. And now I'll just ramble on ignorantly, because I think personally I'm not ready to go tubeless, because I do long distance things, you know, and I just don't want to be stuck somewhere, because I'm not convinced enough by tubeless yet, you know. Inner tube was such a good idea, because if you get a puncture you could change your inner tube, but I've heard things like with tubeless, you've got to put a sort of a sealant round the thing. You put it in via the air thing, but it might dry out after a month, and then you might be prone for a puncture that way, which to me is totally not practical at all. And then the other things that if you do get a puncture somewhere, you might not be able to fix it or whatever, because you can't just change an inner tube or whatever. So for me, I'm not ready to go over a tubeless. In this case, I might even go back. I might buy an old style clincher wheel. I don't know. But I'll have a go with this. Today I'm going to spend it trying to get this tyre off. Every part of that side is fused to the wheel, so I just can't understand it. I mean, what's happened? Has the sort of material blended with the wheel, or is it sort of trapped in some way? I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you those two things about tubeless ready wheels. One of them applies to everybody, tubeless or not, and the other one is for people using inner tubes. Actually, I just realised both of these things apply whether you're tubeless or not. This is the Continental contact speed. This was meant to be sort of in between wheel where you had really good puncture proof here, but the sidewalls were a bit softer, to give you more comfort. And the wheel, it was good, but I've only had it for about 3 months, and that's it ripped at the side. But then one side stuck to the tubeless wheel, so, but I'll not be buying that again, I don't think. I think I'll go back to ones that are puncture proof all over, I think gear skin may be like that, but it's a nightmare to research these things.